In this video, we had the opportunity to visit Flip Aquatics in Ohio. It is a great place. They are a sponsor of this channel and a company that we are very happy to be partnered with. You're gonna see some really cool things, a giant 480-gallon fish tank, some really awesome shrimp, some nano fish, and some really cool bettas, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, this is Jason from Primetime Aquatics. I am here with Rob at Flip Aquatics. This is a really great place. You're gonna see an awesome fish room tour. So tell us a little bit about what you got going on here.
So I guess this is Flip Aquatics. We have a 4,000 square foot warehouse. We focus in on ornamental shrimp, so freshwater shrimp, non-edible shrimp, as you all know, but not anyone else knows. And we also are getting into nano fish. We do some plants, we do all the products. Our main focus is gonna be nano tanks. So that's really what we're going for. I guess you could find us at flipaquatics.com. I also have a YouTube channel, Flip Aquatics. Yep. And yeah, me and Jason are hopefully gonna work together more. Absolutely. And do some videos together. So hopefully, if you guys see my channel, you'll see Jason over there, and vice versa. We'll be working on some cool stuff together coming up.
That's really awesome. So when you first got started, I remember watching your channel. You had a lot of shrimp, and you're getting them in. You were breeding a lot of shrimp. Now, since that time, you've made some changes to how you acquire your shrimp. Now you've gotten into fish and plants. So tell us about how did that process work out, where you went from just breeding to right into it all? Man?
Well, it is a long story, but we started off wanting to breed because I really wanted to make a difference in the hobby, and I feel like when you get something from me, so it goes from point A to point B, it's so much healthier, it's better, it's easier on the shrimp. When you're getting it from, say, Taiwan, where I get shrimp from now, it's going from the breeders there to the main person that packs it over to us, and then we sell to a pet store, and then the pet store sells it to you. So by the time you get it, you're not B, you're D or F. And so you're a lot farther along down the line, and if you don't take proper measures in that whole step, it could be really bad. So when I was first in the hobby, a lot of people weren't doing importing right, and they were really ruining the hobby, in my opinion. And so I set out to start a business that we would breed shrimp to really change the hobby. And 3 years in, we found out that, hey, we can never breed enough shrimp to meet supply. We weren't making the impact we wanted to make. And so we decided, hey, if we can't make the difference we want to make, then we at least need to start importing, and then we are going to be the best importers out there. We're going to quarantine for 30 days. We're going to ensure that shrimp are healthy. We're going to guarantee they're healthy, and if anyone has any problems, we're going to replace them. We're going to work with them. And so that's kind of what we set out to do, and it just blew up from there. And
now you've gotten into what I would call smaller nano type fish, and same thing, right? You're still quarantining those things for 30 days. Yeah. So how does that work? How many species of fish do you think you have roughly in the fish room?
So I would say right now we probably only have roughly 10 to 15 species. We really hope to expand that. We just got a new building, and hopefully we're going to do a lot more nano fish over there and really expand our offering and really try to be a good source for livestock in the nano fish community.
And that new building is going to be awesome. Talk a little bit about that. What are your plans? Because you've got the warehouse here, and we're going to take you around the warehouse. It's really awesome. A lot of cool shrimp, a lot of cool fish and plants. What is the plans for the new building?
So the new building was kind of an accident. I don't know if I ever told this story. My landlord owns quite a few buildings around here, and I went to him and I said, hey, I'm looking kind of for an office space to do a studio, maybe like a couple really nice tanks. I want to do a nano tank series, and I wanted to do it in a new space where I could set them up and take care of them. And so he started showing me different options, and one option was this retail location that just closed down. He had no one that was going to rent it. It's really not in the great part of town, but it's a really nice building. And he was just like, hey, if you want this, I could give you a really good deal on it. So we started talking. It's the perfect setup. There's a basement that we could do tons of tanks in. There's an upstairs that's huge, 2 offices, just absolutely perfect. And so that new building, our big thing is we want to have a gallery. What we found is this is a 480-gallon tank behind us, and when it comes to education, a lot of people really get bored if it's not a topic that really applies to them. But if you throw a 480-gallon topic in, or a 480-gallon tank in the video with education, everyone wants to watch it because large tanks are really cool. And so in the new building, we want to create a couple different ecosystems in large tanks and use those to educate people on how to keep shrimp appropriately.
And let me tell you, this 480 behind us is an awesome tank. You're going to see it in a few minutes. It's really cool. And what I love what you've done is you've got this massive footprint with shrimp.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because a lot of times my default was like 480. Let me see how many, I don't know, arowana or something I can pack in here, something huge. And then I look at this, I'm like, it's got all these little nooks and crannies and ecosystems, and it's awesome. You guys did a great job.
Thank you so much.
Tank. It's really cool.
Got to give Mike from Aqua Pros a big shout out. He is the one that escaped it. He came down and spent like 3 days with us putting this tank together. So definitely got to give credit where credit's due. He did a great job. And I always wanted to have a shrimp tank that was massive with tons of shrimp in there just to see what the shrimp would act like. And it's kind of like their little ant colony. Like they kind of just are all over the place. Whenever there's food in there, you see, like we saw earlier, a little stampede of shrimp going towards the food. So this tank's a lot of fun.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I appreciate you letting us come in. We're going to go ahead, we'll take a look around, and then we will, I don't know.
We'll talk and hang out, have a great time, and you guys will hopefully get to see a lot of that.
Nice.
All right, so this is our Neo-Caridina room. We keep our easy to keep shrimp out here, more or less. These are usually the hardier shrimp, a mono shrimp, cherry shrimp, fancy blues, black rose, everything like that. And so this room, it looks like a ton of tanks out here, but when we started this, we had, just tons of space. We were super excited. We thought this would alleviate our inventory issue. If you guys check our website, there's, honestly, it depends on when you check. Most of the time, we're sold out of stuff because we just don't have room to bring it in. So that's one of the reasons we're getting the new building. And with the new building, we're gonna do 125s double stacked or triple stacked. And that way we can fit a lot more tanks in there. And this room, eventually, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna redo it so that we have 125s in here for a multitude of reasons. One, we can fit more things in here. Two, it's much more pleasing on the eyes when you see a bunch of 125s. And then the third reason is it's much easier to look at the shrimp, know if they're doing good, inspect for parasites and diseases when you're looking at them from the side opposed to down. And so, yeah, that's what this room is. It's also our snail breeding population, which we kind of breed our own Malaysian trumpet snails. You would never think that anyone would do that intentionally, but we do that. We think they're really good for shrimp tanks, for plant tanks. And so yeah, we breed them like crazy.
Nice. Now what's going on over here? So is this all these totes?
So we use RO water exclusively. That's the only thing we use except for the Nano fish room. So we use RO water, so we produce it out in a different room. We pump it over here. We remineralize it so we get it to the GH, the KH, the TDS that we want. And then from there, we'll pump it into these tanks, and all the tanks will get a water change, and then it just overflows out. So it's just a flow-through system. And so we got 2, 4, 6 of those. They're 275 gallons a piece, I believe. And so we usually go through about 2 of those every week or so.
Wow. Awesome. So this is the beginning of it all.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of.
So this first room was actually where it all started. That was the first room we ever did. And if you were wondering, these two are separate because this is a different water parameter for Caridina shrimp. Okay. So there's no KH in this one. It's a lot softer water. And so that's what these guys are for. And then we got the whole crew hanging out in here. But this was originally our very first room. The aisles were actually going the opposite way that they are now. We completely redid it. We had a drop ceiling before, and what happens with the drop ceiling is moisture gets up in there, and then it will drip back down, it would rust out the ceiling, so we end up taking the drop ceiling out completely. Eventually we'll probably spray it with just normal that foam that expands, and that way it just seals the roof. But this room we have a whole section for plants. I think we have 24 40-gallon tanks. We have a whole section for snails, and then the rest of it is for nanofish. We got a whole beta section. We're hoping to expand that soon, and it's just been a blast. But this room is definitely the one room that gives us the most headaches, and yeah, it's just always something with this room.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now temperatures. What are you keeping the temperatures at in this?
So
do they change between room to room, or are they pretty much all the same?
We try to keep them all the same because we don't insulate the ceiling. In the summer, it makes it really tough to keep it cool in here. So I would say the room usually sits about 76 during the day and goes down to about 70 at night. And so I would say all the tanks roughly sit at about 74 to 72 degrees.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a lot of fish, and then we venture on back, right?
Yeah. So, well, we gotta stop and look at the beta rack.
Oh yeah.
Because this is my absolute favorite. What we did is we don't do any type of filtration, believe it or not. We just have normal bodies of water. They're all separate. We don't mix anything just in case one of them comes in with something. And usually bettas won't come in with any parasites or diseases just because for most of their life they're kept separate anyway. And so we do it in this. Somebody on our YouTube channel actually gave us the idea for Indian almond leaves. We didn't think of that before. It gives them a little bit more cover. And it was really cool when we first put them in. Every single betta had a bubble nest that day.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so that's good. We also do plants in all of them just so that the bettas have something to rest on when they would go to sleep. We found that decreases stress a lot. But yeah, betta rack is one of those things that I absolutely love. We have a whole pond dedicated to duckweed.
You know, I'm sure Eli, when he saw this, Eli's in charge of getting the duckweed out of our tanks. And he saw this, probably had some kind of a anxiety thing going on.
You have him on full duckweed control?
Oh, after cleaning the tanks, he's full duckweed, and he's got his nets, he's got it down. I almost thought I saw, I think he was going to grab a net here and be like, I'll get rid of the duckweed for him.
That would have been funny if he just started scooping it out.
Yeah, go right in the garbage bag. Yeah.
What's up, Eli? So this is the Caridina room. This is where we keep the higher end shrimp, more or less the more expensive shrimp. These are all the ones that require a low pH.
Okay.
So Caridina for the most part requires soft water, low pH, no cage, whereas Neo Caridina and all the shrimp in the other room require a GH cage and higher TDS. And so, yeah. So this room we keep Taiwan bees, all the blue bolts, all the pintos. We keep galaxies, crystals, tigers. Basically anything that you would think would be more difficult. And so we got a whole section for Taiwan bees, and then we have a whole section for mostly tigers, and then a whole section for crystals, and then the back side over here where Jeff's working is I guess more of the catch-all. I guess there's a lot more pintos over here and different stuff like that. Jeff, what else do we really keep over here? Jeff's our livestock manager. He doesn't really like being on camera, so we won't make him be on camera.
But trust me, he's over there.
But he's over there working.
Royal Blues, Galaxies, Yellow King Kongs, any USA bred stuff.
Oh yeah, so a lot of the USA bred stuff that we're working with are over here. A lot of the stuff that we want to work with and we're going to work with in the new building, we're just keeping over here for the time being. So Royal Blues are one of them. That's something that we've been trying to really get going for a long time. And we have a ton of them. We ordered in, I think, 400. Did we order in 400 or less than that?
I think we ordered a little bit more than that, but yeah.
So we shipped some of them out, but we roughly ordered in 400, and so hopefully we can really get those going. But the reason he's working so hard right now, well, he works hard every day, but we have an import arriving tonight, which should hopefully get here by like 9. Usually gets here like 12. So hopefully it gets here early so we can go to bed at a reasonable time.
Nice.
But, yeah, so I guess one thing that I don't know if you got to see was our RO unit.
No.
People always get pretty impressed with that. So this is our RO unit, and then this is our RO storage.
Oh my goodness.
So I think it's 1,200 gallons. Yeah, it's 1,200 gallons.
Hold on, stand next to it because you got to get the proper scale for this thing.
It's a big tank.
That's a huge tank.
Like
10 feet? 9 feet?
Yeah, I'd say probably 10 feet.
All right, now it is way warm in here. So are you heating that tote with the ambient air? Or are you?
Oh yeah, that tote definitely gets heated up. Now it's not intentional.
Okay.
In the winter you come in here and it's freezing cold.
Okay.
We have air conditioners blowing into all of our shrimp rooms and they all exhaust into here.
I see.
And then we have a fan, an external fan, exhaust fan on the wall.
Okay.
That just sucks all the air out.
Gotcha.
And so this is like our storage area.
Okay.
And if you were here a couple days ago, this room was, I mean, pretty packed full. We just got the new building, so we moved a ton of the tools and everything over to the new building.
Okay.
So this is actually somewhat organized for the first time in a long time.
Nice. Well, it looks wonderful.
Well, thank you.
It's my favorite part.
This is your favorite part?
By far, yeah.
Wow.
No.
You're a great guy.
A big thank you to Rob from Flip Aquatics for sponsoring our channel, for allowing us to come out and film his awesome fish room. Definitely check out his website, his YouTube channel. Links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. I'm just gonna let it roll.
Okay. Are we filming?
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Well, I mean, right now we're filming, but
are we?
We're not saying anything useful, so this won't go into the
video.
video.
This won't make it?
This is not gonna make the video because it's not gonna be useful.
Okay, well, I mean, it might be in there. I mean, you just never know.
Just throw it right in the middle?
Yeah, just in the
It's like,
bloopers.
hey guys, here's some really cool shrimp, and then just cut to this for no reason. And then
Yeah, like this could be the intro, and everyone would be like, "What is going on?"
What are they actually doing anything?